And we live. GM.
GM.
GM, everyone.
Thinking about starting a new ranch.
God
Dude,
damn, Denton's voice is
get me
so
in.
clear.
Oh yeah, ever since I got the new microphone.
Yeah, much better.
You sound like a real podcaster now.
I still don't think mine. I think I need to calibrate mine or something. Or mine just,
It sounds good today.
Okay, good. I'll talk.
Today's a good day for the audio airwaves.
I'll do a ASMR voice today as well. So hopefully it comes across a little bit better.
Yeah, that's
Today
better.
I'm only gonna talk like
What's
this.
going on? What's new? I got 10 minutes and I gotta jump.
All right. Well, tell us about your ranch dreams first.
Well, I was thinking that we just start like a horse breeding operation, okay? And we can have Marty's fine meats and Marty's fine wines. So we can do horses, cows, and wine vineyards.
Exotic.
Well, the Argentinians like that horse blood sausage. It's an Argentine delicacy.
That doesn't use horse meat, though, just for clarification.
Yeah.
I think we could sell that off.
Please clarify. Please confirm, DK.
I'll tell you this, though. When I lived in Poland, I actually was looking at pig farms because there's a lot of pig farms in Poland. They get pork for very cheap, and there are some types of products that are local to Poland that I think would do very well internationally.
All I can say is, if you have been shrimp farming through the bear market, I don't know. I can't help you. No one can help you.
Shrimps.
Yeah, we're local. We're localizing shrimp farming. We're bringing it back in a new way.
They love the
farming, dude.
They love pig fat in Ukraine. They eat that in Poland.
Oh, they love anything that comes from a pig.
They just put it on bread and that's it. Just
pork,
probably everywhere except
pork
America.
Nuggets, pig fat,
or the Middle East, or the
mini sausage, just any sausage really.
Yeah, we do a lot of pork fat cooking here. That's pretty common. I'd say it's pretty common in
I'm a tallow
a lot
guy.
of cultures.
I'm a beef tallow guy.
Yeah, I had to cut out a lot of red meat. More so just steak after I had my stomach problems a few years ago, because it's because of how grainy it kind of is. Like it's very it's not low residual. It's very high residual. We should say. I guess you could say. So it's hard for my stomach to break it down. So I have to eat a lot of fish, a lot of pastas, a lot of I can eat chicken, pork if I crock pot it for a while.
All right, we only have Marty for 10 minutes, and I know Marty, you wanted to
Not even 10 minutes. Jesus Christ, it's a 45-minute Uber. I have 3 minutes.
All right. Well, before you go, I know you had some really strong thoughts on your recent reading of A Letter to America. Can you share your thoughts on those?
Dude, I had to delete the tweet, dude. I don't want to cause any political drama, but, people, I read that, and I was just, seeing all these TikTok. Once TikToks come to Twitter, that's how you know it's over, right? I don't have TikTok. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any of that shit. So once those videos start coming to the Twitter sphere, then it's over for me, right? So the Letter to America, all these people are reading it and taking it out of context that even The Guardian had to fucking take down the letter. So I have no real opinion. And, people are like, he was right about America. Okay, then get the fuck out. That's what I don't get. If you don't like it, if you're agreeing or whatever, then leave.
Oh, it's like all the people that said that when Trump would become president, they'd move to Canada. But
you fucking jackasses. You never would do that.
None of them went to Canada.
It's too cold. Too cold, bro. People are too soft. And yeah, I guess everybody has an opinion and everybody has a right to opinion, but some people's opinion just doesn't matter.
They're too lazy to even research how to actually move a country. It's just talking.
Yeah, they probably
don't have the money.
Have their passport. They don't
have the money.
Don't actually even have their passport. Yeah.
I love that I've removed myself from social media sphere just enough to where I don't see any of this.
I had to mute a
Like
lot of words, bro. I had to mute a lot of words on the Twitter. I
like
couldn't
the
deal
only
with it
thing
anymore.
the only thing I saw about this was someone saying like, what is a letter to America? And it might have been Marty. And
Yeah, that's how
then
Me.
then I saw, and then some friends in a group chat were just like, "Oh man, timeline's unhinged. You've got the far left like saying Osama bin Laden was right, and you've got the far right saying Hitler was okay." Like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I really don't need
That's
to
enough for me
like,
today, bro.
I
That's
really
it.
don't need to allow this content into my like content sphere. So I'll avoid interacting with or viewing any for the day. It's usually pretty easy if there's stuff like that that is kind of like an attention hole on Twitter. If you just avoid interacting or scrolling, for the majority of the time that you normally are on Twitter, and instead stick to just your posting and like group chats, it'll blow
It's all
over and like
fucking brain rot.
the algo will
I gotta
start
run. I
serving you
love you
other
guys. I
shit.
gotta run. Sorry,
Like
my wife's gonna
later,
kill
Marty.
me, and the
Bye bye.
Swifters are gonna
Bye
kill
bye,
me.
Marty.
Yeah, you'll start getting served other shit, and then you don't have to deal with that. Like I don't ever. I barely nowadays get a lot of the fear porn and like contention porn that gets shared on social media, just because like I'm not interacting with as many out circles, I guess. Like my interactions are really just now option stuff, premium stuff, and like other people building an Arbitrum. So I don't know, the algo's gotten pretty tight in shipping me tailored content.
You're in the zone, the
Yeah,
builder
I can't
zone.
complain. I don't get like a lot of the other shit. I don't get a lot of stuff that like each time that something's come around like this, like a lot of the um even the Israel like Palestine content on Twitter. The only time that I really see that is when like CT people are quote tweeting or saying something.
Yeah, it just sucks when someone really becomes deranged and obsessed with it, and it's someone that you want to follow, but they don't stop.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you just avoid it for the season, and they'll move on to new content and
Yeah,
not
it's
having
like
that be the focal point of what they're putting out. And
it's so funny when someone is like posting about one of these political issues, like as if they actually care, and then 5 minutes later they're posting like about their dog, and
or their bag.
like they don't actually care.
about they're posting fucking like AVAX dog coin charts 5 minutes later.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Like 5 minutes after being dramatic about some issue.
Yeah. I tried to I learned at a young age because of how kind of split my mom's family was when it came to politics, that like it's just something I should avoid talking about with people, even if they like really press it, because it only like if someone is really pressing it for you, it's because they want to fight with you about it.
Yeah,
So like the more that someone's interested, that the more of a like motive they have to try to do like to try to change something about the way you think if you don't agree with them. So I like totally don't engage. Even the like COVID stuff. I remember my one aunt when I went back, the Christmas right after it happened. She was asking if I had gotten vaccine, and I was telling her no, and explaining to her, why. And as I started explaining, my stepdad was like looking at me, just like shaking his head, like no, like don't even like get started on trying to give her an explanation, because to her like there is no rationale for why you wouldn't do
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
you're just giving her an avenue to start to argue with you, and like why do that when you're only
Yeah.
here like once
You
a year?
can tell when people are like possessed by someone else's opinion or idea, because like the way they just talk changes, like their face changes. There's no one there. There's no one to talk to.
That's actually like a good way to put it, because they always do get this. It's almost like it's a very condescending, like excited look to their face. Is, I guess, the best way to describe it.
Yeah, or it could be angry too.
Could be. It could be. DK, what's going on in Arbitrum land?
Oh, I don't know.
Wanted to prod you about that. I've been kind of tapped out, given everything going on with Premia. Anything new happening over on the DAO side of things?
No. Everyone's at Dev Connect.
What about that? The vote to like backfund some of the STIP,
it goes to on chain. I think tomorrow is the first day you can vote for it, and it's going to be on chain for 2 weeks.
And you think it's going to pass or no?
No. Probably.
Not sure.
It'll probably pass. My recommendation was to pair it together with round 2, but they did not take my recommendation.
It's strange though, because by the time they finish setting it all up, it's going to be a few more weeks. So it's like the amount of rewards is going to be condensed even more.
Yeah, I mean, I said that it doesn't hurt to start the KYB process because that's going to take 2 weeks while the on-chain voting is happening, but no one's heeding that warning, I don't think. And so, it's going to be like the earliest a month from tomorrow probably is when you'll start seeing that allocated out. And I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe on the proposal, it says that it's still going to be the same timeline of the other protocols. So essentially they'll have even more juiced returns because it's going to be over a shorter time period than the rest of the.
Yeah.
So, in the grand scheme of things, the overall number is not that much. However, we'll see. We'll see if it passes. I'm kind of agnostic to the outcome, to be honest. I just don't think it sets the right precedent. But I put my thoughts together, and then because I was asked, they asked like the top 6 delegates who voted against it, why. And so I just like consolidated the thoughts of both myself and some others. But obviously when you are the messenger, people want to shoot the messenger. So, people haven't been very kind, but it's whatever.
DK's used to it by now. He ruffled enough feathers. He came in guns blazing to just kind of set the precedent, set the tone that you should be used to being angry with him.
Hey, I think I'm a pretty pragmatic guy. I'm not everyone's friend. I obviously have, certain things that I feel strongly for, and
DK,
that's it. I don't fence
firm
it.
but fair.
I'll tell you one thing.
Guardian of justice.
I'll tell you one thing I never do, and that's fence it. All right.
Yeah, he's the archetypal dad. He's the strict yet firm but fair.
Yeah.
Did we see any, like, I've been kind of not paying attention to stuff that's been happening this week, but did we see anything really get announced at Dev Connect this week? I know Avara, Abe's thing, they just rebranded and they bought another company, but it seems like they're going pretty heavily into the mobile and wallet space. Not surprising. I've been saying this on our side for a bit, but like they rebranded Aave companies to Avara, and now Aave or Avara, under their portfolio companies is like Family, which was, a wallet. They have this other group, I think that was like a mobile first, like dev team. It was like one of the best mobile dev teams in Web3, and they just essentially just said, fuck it, we'll just acquire them. So now we have one of the best mobile teams in Web3. Then obviously they have Lens and Aave now. I heard Rave was like one of the best crypto events ever. This Rave in Istanbul.
Really? I mean, everyone is pretty
very
good.
Exclusive. Yeah, it's I still, to this day have never received a Rave ticket, and I think that I'm relatively have a relative amount of connections in the space. And I still have not been able to ever get a Rave ticket at any event. So
No, I
Very.
noticed something random on Aave yesterday. So they have the ability to swap tokens, but they called it switch tokens instead of swap. I don't know why they chose to do that. It's like in the dApp now on the top right.
Yeah, I think that you have to do that within your CDP. No, they call it switch when it's within your CDP.
Interesting.
So it is essentially a swap of collateral.
That's not the collateral aspect. That's not the collateral swap. It's just a swap on the top right of the dApp that lets you swap like regular tokens that are not collateral.
Oh, really? So it's like what we have for bridge and swap modal.
Yeah, like it lets me initiate a swap of tokens that are just in my wallet, not on the app. So I'm not sure why they chose to do that.
Yeah, there's a few dApps that I've been using because of the STIP program that I'm like, I don't know if I like your semantic terminology.
Yeah.
Like Dolomite has an interesting term, I think. Camelot, for their withdraw, they don't call it withdraw. I think they call it like unlock or something like that. I'm like pushing these buttons. I'm like, what do these buttons do? It's the reason that they have this button. So I'm like, because you deposit fine, but I'm like, it's the reason that they don't call it withdraw. So like you're confused and you don't know what you're supposed to do.
Back in my day, we used to call these withdrawal and deposit. Sure, Grandpa. Let's get you to bed.
I'm just like, I gotta look at the hex. Is like, no,
it's so weird when they switch around terminology.
Right? Like I don't unbind. That's what Camelot calls it. They call it unbind instead of withdraw.
Makes sense, but yeah, it's
I'm like, what does this do? And then there's a button on there that's like burn. It's like burn LP, and I'm like, what? If I hit this button and I burn LP, what's gonna happen? But it's like burn the LP NFT is what they mean.
All of your LP is ours.
Yeah, it's like I'm like kind of confused. I'm like, is this on purpose? So that people are like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to unbind and burn my LP, so they never withdraw. I don't know. Is it smart? Is it confusing?
Grail.
I'm not entirely sure.
You know, something I saw that was kind of cool. It's testnet still, but Neon, the Solana EVM, they are allowing users to pay with different types of gas tokens. So like USDC, Sol, Wrapped ETH, stuff like that. And I love that because, you know, one of my biggest gripes is it being on a different network and having some form of ETH that wasn't bridged over because of how bridges like to do funky shit with your base layer tokens.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I love that.
Permit 2, same thing. No, it's just that no one ever uses permit 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I bridged to Solana, like everything I bridged was unusable. And I had to bridge it back. Like in 2021.
There is an EVM standard. Maybe it's not permit 2, but there's an EVM standard that USDC, for example, has it, where you can pay for like transfers of USDC in USDC.
Yep.
But it's like I think it's like the original version of like a paymaster kind of situation where like someone else has to actually pay the ETH cost in it, and then they get the USDC equivalent, you know, plus a 5% spread, but you don't have to have a native gas token. But no one's ever really used it. I will say this though, I like, even though the overall approval process of EVM is probably subpar, and it probably could have been designed better. One thing that I always hate doing is approvals. And whenever you're using like native ETH on something, you don't have to do those approvals. So you know at least that like if you're depositing ETH, that you're not approving this contract to spend your ETH in the future because native ETH doesn't have an approval function, right? It's always been something that I've loved about native ETH deposits. Is that I'm
Yeah.
like, well, this is the max I can lose because they're not going to be able to spend the other, rest of my ETH because I'm not approving anything because it doesn't have an approve function.
Yeah. And then you have some scams that do an ETH sign, and some wallets don't warn you about it.
This
WETH,
guy,
yeah.
always trying to find a way to shill Rabby. Always looking for a way to shill Rabby. I swear, I think JC
Maybe one day
is,
they'll pay me.
I think Denton is like he's part of their partner program or something. Like
Horny too.
every chance he gets to shill low key Rabby in some way, he does.
You know, I got it because Horny told me to.
Yeah.
And then I was surprised at how good it is.
His comment about those approvals is something he always makes in Discord because I'm a diehard Frame user, and they don't get why I would use Frame over Rabby. I'll explain to you right now, Denton. I am a creature of habit. I don't like trying new wallets. Wallets are,
So what made you try Frame?
Frame doesn't generate keys for you, right? So like, I'm not trusting some new wallet to have generated my keys, and all I'm doing is it's an interface for me to connect my hardware wallets through, and any hot wallet that I'm going to use in Frame, I have to have saved that key pair before I input the private key or the seed phrase to even use it in there. So there is no like, oops, I accidentally like forgot my seed phrase. Never happened. That's not something I would do, but MetaMask, you create or import addresses and something happens, you can't open it up. There's a lot of people who unfortunately don't write down their seed phrases, don't write down the key pairs to the keys that they've uploaded, so they don't remember which wallets they had uploaded into that MetaMask account. There's a lot of like gripes I have with MetaMask, and Frame, although much more simplistic, solves those for me because I'm just using it as a way to interact with all these dApps for my hardware wallets that all sit across my desk.
To not undercut Frame does allow you can make addresses within Frame, and they even allow you to do like 50 on the same seed phrase, right?
And you can use a hardware wallet with Rabby or MetaMask.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're using Frame in the same way that I use MetaMask.
Wait, when I go to add new account, I can't. It doesn't let you create a wallet. There is no.
I have 40 Frame wallets that were all created at once, and I just hit the toggle button to be like add to the view. It's all in the same seed phrase.
And you didn't import a seed phrase beforehand.
Mm-mm.
You're gonna have to show me where in accounts, add new account, where you're doing this, because you can watch accounts by just entering stuff in, but the only way to
maybe
add
it was set up when I no, because I think I had 2 seed phrases in that were native.
Yeah, you can import.
Frame
doesn't. I don't know of any way to generate wallets in
Frame. What does it matter though if you're using your hardware wallet anyway?
Okay, so my point is that I trust my hardware wallets. I've been storing money in them for a long time. To get me to then send money out of those into some new wallet extension.
No, I'm saying you can use your hardware wallet. You can use your hardware wallet with the browser wallet.
Okay, but why would I do that? Now I have to use a new interface that you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, go use this new thing. Okay, well, what's the benefit?
So my original question,
nothing.
Did you use Frame originally, or did you use MetaMask and then switch to Frame?
No, I used MetaMask, and then MetaMask started having a lot of issues with Trezor and MetaMask connecting to like DeFi sites. So a friend of mine at the time was like, you should try Frame. All of the sites that I had issues with my Trezor with, it worked fine with Frame. And from then on, like I was a diehard Frame user because I couldn't generate a key pair from it. So I thought, okay, cool. This is just like an interface to interact with my hardware wallets. Great. So it was kind of and I like the UI. Like I think it's a good UI, good UX. It's very minimal. Just kind of pops
Frame.
out.
I've used both Frame and Rabby, and I think they make MetaMask look like it's like 10 years old. Like it's so choppy and laggy when you do anything with it compared to them.
Yeah, so it's not that I have anything against Rabby. It's just that I'm not going to download something new just to play around with it because it's a wallet that's available, you know, like there's no benefit to me figuring it out. I'm not a retard who needs fucking warnings when I interact with stuff, you know,
Listen, the quality of life improvements on it are just unparalleled.
like if I'm interacting with something, I can guarantee you that like I'm not first. There's already been a chance for some other moron to be exploited, and
Yeah, I see what you
if it
mean.
were, you know, like I am not the guy who has that is in the mode where I need to be first to everything. Okay, that was me 4 years ago. All right, when I was depositing $100 to $1,000 into every shitter that popped up on Uniswap. Like, I don't give two shits now. If you want to take the 100 or 1,000x by being first and possibly getting exploited, go right ahead. I'll come in when it's 500K or 750,000, and be totally fine. Maybe 1 million, 2 million if it's you know a more promising shitter, like, and I'm totally fine being in and out of that while you moonboy your fucking exploitable spawned by a hacker shitcoin. Like,
What was that wallet that was exploited and like a ton of people lost their seeds?
X DeFi?
Like
No, I don't know. I know that there was
not that
some
long
issue with them a
ago.
while back.
Dude, I've been providing LP to XDeFi for like 2+ years.
Didn't they have some issue like years ago?
Dude, I don't know. I haven't. It's like on my third computer back, dude. I got to set it up. I got I got to set up X Frame, or excuse me, X DeFi wallet and see if that's worth anything or not.
I'm trying to. I know which one you're talking about too. It's not XDeFi. It wasn't even that long ago, right, Denton? It was like
Oh yeah,
within
there
the
was
Yeah.
last
one
6 months.
that the way that they generated keys was you could reverse engineer it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who they were. It was kind of a bigger name too.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure. I don't know. To be honest though, yeah, Denton, this even goes like it's also a like PTSD like thing for me. The only time that I've ever like been quote unquote hacked, exploited, or anything is from a wallet, and it was my own stupidity. Back when Bitcoin forks were a thing, and the original airdrops, you know, having new Bitcoins in your wallet. It was that season. There were a lot of Electrum wallets that would pop up, and a lot of scams around Electrum. Like there was one where some hackers like exploited the server update servers, and they were pushing like uh, you know, a fake wallet update to the server. So if anyone logged in and just saw like and didn't pay attention or didn't check, which was me, downloaded these wallets and then imported, you know, the seed to split your Bitcoin, you lost them all. So the idea of me now, like once I have a wallet that I use and I trust, going and using and trying something else is like I'm pretty allergic to it. Frame would have to stop working for me to go, okay, let me try Rabby now.
Oops. Yeah.
Or like Frame would have to start giving me
I see what
problems
you're
with my
saying.
Ledger, Lattice, or Trezor for me to go, okay, it's time for me to try Rabby. But by then, I don't know, maybe Rainbow Extension is you know, eating their lunch and I just go with Rainbow.
There's
Didn't
just so
There's-
many little things about it that it makes me shocked that MetaMask is still so big.
How many wallet
Brand, dude.
extensions have you
It's
tried?
brand.
Because
Yeah.
I'll say this, like Exodus has a really nice wallet extension that they released, and it's
I use
for
Exodus on my phone actually.
I use their mobile wallet too. That and Rainbow I think are probably the best like mobile experiences. But they have a wallet extension just like Rainbow, and they support I want to say ETH, a few EVM chains, and then Solana. And it's a better experience than MetaMask, but given that you seem to be the wallet extension connoisseur, Have you tried out any of these other ones?
I tried Phantom on mobile,
Yeah, I
so the
did too.
one that Solana uses for my Solana phone. I tried a bunch of stuff in like 2021, but I don't even remember.
I've tried Argent. I've tried Tahoe. I actually my old
Trust
school
Wallet.
wallet was Trust. Yeah, I used Trust for a long time.
I'm so
Got that
surprised.
airdrop.
I'm always so surprised by the amount of Trust wallet users there are. Like, it's such a terrible wallet
But it was
compared to
the only
like.
one that supported like native chain support for like the assets that were traded on like Binance and stuff. So if you wanted to get it off exchange, like you kind of had to use Trust for a long period of time.
Oh, you know what? A funny little fact. I saw like someone was asking, "What's the like who even uses Tron, like the network?"
Exodus
And then
supported all ERC20s for like years.
I don't know. I
Maybe they
used
just
Trust
didn't
for
push that hard
Phantom
enough.
back in the day.
Okay. For like the alt L1 and their tokens that were there.
Yeah, I mean they were like
Yeah.
their original token was actually just an ERC20 on ETH until they launched their mainnet. But yeah, it
I
was
remember.
yeah, it was but then when yeah, I don't know. So I used Trust for that for a decent period of time. And then Trust was I think they had Shapeshift integration or they had some sort of integration where like if it was one of the only places in which that there were some like real shit coins that if you wanted to do a swap on them, you had to do it through Trust. And this
when
was before like
Binance Smart
unit
Chain was
days.
new, when Binance Smart Chain was new, you had to use Trust to swap from like the original BNB chain to the new one. So that's why I
I
used
did it
it.
on my desktop. There was like they had some finicky bridge that you could use on PC, and I wasn't like doing a
Yeah,
bunch
but
of
you
shit on
couldn't use
mobile at the
that
time.
bridge if it was like geo-blocked in the US though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but when I was at my vacation home in Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, it worked fine. um, yeah, mine was I was using just like Bitcoin wallets until I went full shitcoinery, and then it was right from like Electrum wallets to just like native node wallets for whatever like shitcoin I was mining. And then I found Jax, and Jax kind of solved a lot
Actually,
of problems
yeah. This is my mobile
because
wallet for a long time.
yeah, and my desktop because like all the shitcoins that I was mining, like Zcash, Ethereum Classic, all that kind of shit, they supported it. So it was like the perfect wallet at the time for me to be able to switch, every few days, what asset I was mining and be able to manage it all in one place. And then I did a swap and they lost like $40 of Zcash from me, I think, at the time. And I was so pissed that I'm like, there's got to be another wallet that does this. And I found Exodus. And then I pretty much used them until like them and hardware wallets until DeFi shit came around. And then I moved on to hardware wallets and mining my own hot wallets. No more. What else is going on? I guess we could talk about STIP. We over at Premia, again, not financial
Right.
advice. We all work for Premia.
Talk to
all
me.
this
What are
stuff.
you guys doing? What are you guys coming with?
On Premia, what am I doing?
No. I mean like not Premium related, other STIP projects or protocols that receive STIP funding. What are you guys playing with?
The only one that I've played with thus far is Silo, but
Yes,
today is
same.
the day. Today is the day that I wanted to kind of start dipping my toes a bit more. I didn't really care about the market moving. Yeah, we're down 4% ish in ETH, but doesn't stop the. You don't go on vacation to the new Aria casino and hotel to not play games because it's raining.
Dude, love City Center, by the way. Love City Center.
Yeah, it's nice.
So
But yeah, I'm only in
borrow.
Silo right now. And then on Premia, I'm in the arena trying some things. But yeah, today I plan to kind of go through a list of the STIP Arbitrum products, and I'm not going to go to my friends. I'm not going to go to the guys I know. I want to go check out some new some new protocols in Arbitrum. I need to get my feet wet in the ones that are kind of in their infancy or launched this year in 2023.
Yeah, I like the APR on GMX actually, V2, but I don't like that the base APR is like it just stacks it cumulatively instead of rewarding you in ETH like GLP did. But still, the APR is pretty high right now.
Explain what you mean by that.
So the way the old way worked is you just buy GLP and it's like a mix of funds like Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, USDC, and it would your rewards would be in ETH separate from the original collateral. So the collateral could go up or down, but your rewards were always on the side with ETH. And right now they split it up for GMX V2 into individual pools, like isolated pools for each pair. So right now the APR could be like 50%, but if the pool is performing badly, you don't have the rewards on the side. You have to like calculate it yourself how much you earn from the APR versus the losses that incurred, and it's like inconvenient. I just liked letting it chill no matter what happens to the GLP price, having the reward separate, as opposed to it just being a regular LP pair that you have to worry about impermanent loss. But the APR, the rewards for ARB are separate, I think. So that's a good thing. And they're like 20% on Sol right now. The APR on Sol is really high.
What is the like average over there?
It's, I mean, the highest is Sol at 55. The lowest is like 7 on stables.
Yeah, so it's like normalized.
Yeah. And then the stables base APR is like less than 1%. It's it's
really?
USDC. It's literally a USDC to USDC. But the bonus APR with ARB is 7%.
Okay. Good place to park.
So what? So we are at 527 million on GMX. And pre-stip, we were at 490. So I'm surprised they haven't gotten more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the TVL bumped nicely.
It's only like
Yeah,
a
we got a
30%
nice,
TVL bump. I mean, a 30 million TVL bump was like less than 10% for 24% of the overall step amount.
Yeah, the APR on Premium is pretty good. Not
It's good. I mean, Premium is okay. Silo USDC is pretty good. I started messing around with Dolomite. They're doing theirs like in batches, so we'll see what that looks like. Risk also kind of like batches, so we'll see how that goes. What else have I been playing around with? Camelot.
Yep,
Yeah.
Camelot's APRs are juicy.
Camelot's pretty good. Yeah. Silo and Camelot are like my two ones I've been playing around with the most probably. And there's like a lot of cool stuff that you can do, especially since like the functionality that Silo provides you of lending, depositing one asset that's not as usable in these programs, and then lending against it and getting the asset that you need, and then depositing that asset. Again, that's not financial advice by any means, but there's some cool stuff with a pretty composable Arbitrum lending market that reminds me of the old cream days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do. let's not run it back like old cream days. In the sense to having the protocol exploit the users time and time again.
I like how on Silo you can borrow both ETH and USDC.
Yeah,
I really like Silo's design, man. I really like it.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for Silo V2. There's like a lot of cool stuff that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Same. We've talked to them about it. No alpha leaks on that one. What else do we got going on? So besides the STIP, over at Premia we have 600K of Arbitrum that has that's being allocated to vaults. Right now we have the Arbitrum rewards going to 6 of our vaults, DK, or is it all of the vaults at the moment?
6.
So
6 of the tier one. So it's, I mean, it's 3 assets, call and puts, ARB, ETH, wrap Bitcoin, and then we will be doing the rest of the vaults. However, we just wanted to get the tier one assets kind of out the door ASAP, and then we'll be having some other components that are all coming in line in the first week of December, and that's probably when we'll continue to do the rest of the vaults. They won't be as a majority of the allocation. I think 420 of the 600K go to those 6 vaults anyways, but we'll have some going into the other vaults.
Nice. And then we have another 200,000 ARB that will be for trading incentives.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly natural buyer. It's like a market making side of things. But similar to Uniswap, anyone could be a market maker on Premia. And so we'll be providing some tools to help people do that. But yeah, the goal is that we want to the 3 core components of having a nice fluid options exchange is a natural seller, a natural buyer, and then that network a network effect of activity going between the two, right? And so we have a natural seller being the vaults. A natural buyer is what we'll be incentivizing it for 2 months starting the first week of December, and then we'll also be having some a trading competition, if you will, to have a bunch of the users on the platform to kind of be competing for higher P&L, and then we'll also have a small budget for range orders. So to get we want to incentivize users to get to know and learn range orders. We're probably a little too early for the market on range orders. However, it's a super useful product if you're like a market maker. We just kind of have to make it a little bit more accessible. And so we'll be incentivizing that.
In Premia fashion, true Premia fashion, much how we have released an academy to teach you all how to trade options, our genius little frog engineers are creating a fancy little market making bot UI to hopefully make market making easy for everyone, approachable for retail. It's fun. It's a good time. I think people enjoy it. Other thing we have going on is Hidden Hand. It seems like people aren't too familiar with that, but I'll explain a bit. Hidden Hand is like a meta bribe protocol. So what they do is they track the votes that you are voting on the different gauge weight pools that are on a protocol. For us, it's our vaults. So you do not have to, go and delegate or anything, your tokens. You can simply go on to Hidden Hand. You can see what pools, have the most bribe rewards or have bribes there for you to try to acquire. And you can then vote on those pools natively on Premia. At the end of a voting period, if you were voting on any of those pools, you'll have a portion of the bribe rewards available to you. And what's nice about this is, it doesn't really require anything on the user's end besides to be checking out their site and seeing who is trying to bribe where and what rewards may be available to them.
We did some incentivization natively to kind of bootstrap, get it off the ground. Let's see where we compare versus some of the other Hidden Hand protocols.
I think right now we have
there's 5 different protocols that have a decent level of incentives. Premia is roughly around 3K for allocating your staked Premia into one of those pools. So not too bad.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this could go.
Third highest in rewards.
Juicy.
Third highest in incentives, yeah. With only 3K. That's about it. That's about all we got going on. Anything this weekend that we should be keeping our eyes out for that you've all heard about outside of maybe a little. I thinking we come back. I don't know. I see some bears on the timeline calling for 1700s.
I think
know about that.
I think it's a good opportunity to jump in if you weren't in earlier. I think that things kind of moved in the direction that they moved. You know, I strictly correlate it to the options market, the derivative market of, you know, Friday expirations being a very large expiration date. And so now that that's over, we'll see what happens if it, you know, kind of mean reverts on what it was, you know, trading at earlier in the week. So
We shall see. I'll be getting my my stars read for me to see where to
Dude,
put
Yeah,
my
everyone.
you got
Everyone.
a witch, dude? You can share a witch with me?
I got a witch on hand.
Dude, I think Andy has a witch. I need to see if she's open.
That's how I remain solvent. I default to my witch.
Everyone was doom posting on the dip like 3 days ago. Then
Everyone
went way
doom
back
posts as
up.
soon as anytime we lose a little momentum, it's over.
Yeah.
Marin
So
did
fucking
say
over.
Marin did say something about the moon was in inversion to Jupiter or something like that, and she said that expect volatility this weekend.
Man, AVAX like really exceeded my expectations though with that pump after the dip.
It had to catch up.
I got rinsed on leverage. Like they got me. I had a good entry, and they rinsed me at like $16 and then ran it back.
Well, that's because you were part of the rocket fuel on that.
Literally a few more liquidations than up only. Except I'm the liquidations.
Well, you were
That
the
was me
liquidation
on
filled it up because that institutional news pushed it,
Yeah.
and then it was.
Yeah.
that was me with
spot
the NFT
entry
market.
was 14, and then I levered up like towards the top, and then that.
I was like market selling and like just accepting bids for for hundreds of NFTs at like the literal bottom. As soon as I sold most of my shit, then all of a sudden NFTs were back.
You guys have any opinion about Celestia? Should you guys talk about it?
Dude, I heard it's the Dropbox of chain.
I was just gonna. You want to talk about the Dropbox of blockchain? I don't have any. I don't have any comments. I don't necessarily like. How
I'm
they
just
do airdrop,
respecting the
so
pump.
I'm respecting the pump, and I'm disrespecting the airdrop qualifications and process.
Oh yeah, man.
I couldn't
was so
claim in time,
disappointing.
dude. I couldn't get to my parents' house in Greenland quick enough.
Same.
And for some reason,
Dude,
when I stopped in Puerto Rico on my way there, I couldn't connect. Like it was refusing
100%.
my connection.
I literally posted about that claim thing when I was boarding a plane, so I couldn't access it, and then I completely forgot about it. Like I forgot.
I didn't
that
forget.
existed.
They were not. I don't know if they were.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah, they were. They were keeping us out. They knew it.
Even if you had a dedicated spot in Europe that you were located in, you're not even like a general spot like the library, right? If you had a dedicated spot, they definitely still got you. So that's pretty rare that if you have a dedicated, location that you partake of this.
Yeah, I'm usually not one to miss out on airdrops.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, I wasn't able to get to the claim page. So I wish them the best. I appreciate that all of my tokens just went to them rather than being dispersed to everyone else. Hopefully they dump at very high prices. And I will continue.
Look from the sidelines.
I will continue cheering them from the sidelines, playing with my little bots, picking up pennies.
All right, let's close it up today.
Yeah, we got some shit.
Wish
to
everyone a
do.
happy weekend.
Enjoy
If
farming
you're
on
traveling,
Arbitrum.
traveling.
Enjoy Arbitrum season.
Yeah. Arbitrum Autumn. We'll see you back on Monday. Later, pimps.
Bye bye.